Hey guys, Andy here. Before we get to the video, just real quick, we recorded this video earlier, and then me and Corbin and Jim were talking afterwards, and we have a 5% play that needs to be played this weekend. It's our only 5% play that we've done this weekend. We did not talk about it during the video, but it's too good of a spot. So we have a 5% best bet that is going off on Sunday. So that is a part of the pack that is up on Wager Talk. So we're going to make adjustments to it. All of our normal props are going to be in there, but there's going to be a 5% first one of the season. It's just time to fire away a big one. So join us, partner up with us. Props have been very, very good to us. The month of November could not be going any better. So let's profit off of this 5% best bet that is up. We did great with our best call last week on Michael Wilson, and it's time to not screw around and make some money. So that is going to be attached to the Sunday props pack that is up at Wager Talk. Thanks for joining us and enjoy the video. Welcome to the Prop Line, NFL Week 12. Andy, Corbin, and Jim are going to break down props on all the Sunday games. No time to waste. Let's get right into it. If you guys hit the like button, tell us your favorite prop in the comments section. Tell us if you agree or disagree with any of our takes. Gentlemen, last week I said that I had my most confident player prop of the season last week. This week, I have my favorite. Not the one I want to bet on, but my favorite that just speaks volumes, and I can't wait to get to it. But we're going to start with Corbin, your Packers and the Minnesota Vikings coming to you first. This is great. This is great. Whenever we go to the Packers, Corbin's moaning and groaning. We go to the Jets, Jim's moaning and groaning. Come to my Colts, and it's rainbows and unicorns. This is awesome.
I've been really positive about the Packers this year, up until a point, and we have fallen off so much. I said it last week. I hate Jordan Love. I can't stand this man anymore. I said I would take Rodgers back. And you all laughed at me, and then Jordan Love did what Jordan Love's been doing for a while. He was woeful. Jesus, where do we start with props? Rushing props, if you could, please, sir. I think our run defense, I was applauding it, and I think we are reverting back very quickly to having no run defense. So I'm going to take both the Vikings rushing overs, actually. I really like the Mason over 23.5. He seems to be picking up momentum again. I mentioned it. I remember I mentioned it last week, and we talked about how he fell off. But you look at this number, it's 23.5. It's really not that much with even if he gets a couple of 5-yard carries, he's half the way there pretty much. The concern is obviously, I think he's only had 4 and 6 rush attempts, but the way our defense is looking against the run, it's just looking inevitable again. 3 straight weeks, 9 out of 10. A couple of those, obviously, Aaron Jones was injured, but I really like that. And then on to Aaron Jones, 52.5 over in 2 of the last 3. 97 and 47 yards against us. Obviously, it's a revenge spot. We let him go, and I think he's going to want to strike against us. Again, I slightly worry that this total is not in the 40s. You can do an alt of the two together, so you can get Mason 10 or 15 plus rushing, and then Jones at 40. So that's where I'm looking at for those two. Kind of hard on the Packers side of the ball. Don't know what's going on with Jacobs. Jacobs has been not there all year. I like Emmanuel Wilson numbers, but I don't have any, so I can't comment on those. And then it's JJ McCarthy unders. Even though our run defense has failed or is failing before my very eyes, our pass defense has still been quite good. So I'm looking at both McCarthy under 188 passing yards. You can see on the chart right there, 4 of 5 he's gone under, except that one big game. Packers never seem to fly away with games, even if they're the better team. I've said it before. We kind of seem to play to the level of our opposition. We play the weak teams, and we're fumbling around, and we're missing opportunities, and then there's field goals involved, and it's just so close. And then we play the good teams, and it's somehow we up our games. So I don't have any concern that the Vikings may be down, but I don't think they're going to be down drastic enough to completely abandon the run. I also like the under 17.5 pass completions. Again, same theme, 4 or 5 under. I think they're probably correlated. So take either or. That's the 3.5 props I'm looking at.
Jim?
I only need 2 props to make money in this game. One of them starts in passing, and it's J.J. McCarthy interception. Just play it. Just play it. It's one of those that if you just play, you are very, very, very happy. Don't care about the defense. Just play him to throw one interception. Second one, plus 195 on Aaron Jones anytime touchdown. I think that number's crazy. Corbin already touched on it. It's in Lambeau. There's nothing more insulting to do the Lambeau leap as a visitor. You used to play there. The script just writes itself. I know it hasn't been good, but like Corbin said, the Packers' defense is regressing. They will have, if they get in the red zone, they're going to have design plays for Aaron Jones. They just are. It's going to be Aaron Jones and Justin Jefferson. That's it.
He's also good because obviously he can catch the ball.
Exactly.
So you have the receiving threat as well as the rushing for Jones.
All right. Pretty surprised we haven't talked Christian Watson. They bumped his number up to 49.5. This has been a couple of cashes on us, but he was lower than this. I think I might go back to his longest reception, 23.5. He's done this in 3 out of 4 games. Had a 17-yard one, but he's their big play guy. And I know, Corbin, you're not a big fan of Jordan Love, but I'm not sold on this Vikings team. I'm not sold on this defense. And with the amount of injuries that you guys have at wide receiver, it's kind of last man standing.
We actually have quite a few people back. I saw that Dobbs is listed. I saw Wicks is listed. I saw, obviously, we have Musgrave. We have Golden should be back this week. So
it's just a lot of questionables.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, they're back.
Again, it's a case of that. From what I've read, they will be playing. But again, it's American sports. Any injury could change anything very quickly. So
yeah, and listen, I'm hitting the panic button on Justin Jefferson with J.J. McCarthy in the lineup. Say it out loud. Justin Jefferson's receiving yards is 65.5. How much money would we have put on this at the beginning of the season? This would have been like a 1,000,000-unit play. And he's gone under the last 3 games. There's real panic in this. I mean, J.J. McCarthy's passing yards is 186, and you can get, Jordan Addison under 39.5 and Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkinson. The math ain't mathing on that one. So a few other games I like a little bit better, but I like the unders. I'm with you, Corbin, on the J.J. McCarthy. All right, we go to my Indianapolis Colts and the Chiefs. I mean, seriously, guys, one of the biggest games of the year. I mean, the playoff implications here. You could be staring at Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid not in the playoffs if they lose this one. Jim, I'll come to you first. What do you like in this game?
Not to harp on it and put the Colts down, but I do not like this spot for the Indianapolis Colts one bit. This is on the road in Arrowhead. We have a dome team traveling to one of the hardest places to play. And what do you say about a wounded animal? It's when they're the most dangerous. And right now the Chiefs are a very, very wounded animal. I think the Chiefs' defense is going to make this day really, really tough for Daniel Jones. And where I'm going to go with it is I'm going to go George Karlaftis and Chris Jones to get a sack in this game. They think they are going to. I caught it. So that's where I'm going to go, defensive side of the ball. I think we could also look at Daniel Jones rushing. He's going to have to take off. This pass rush has sneakily gotten pressure. Jones showed up last week and looked like the Jones of old. So is that an injury thing? Is that it's now or never? But I think this is a bit of a tough spot for Indy to get this win here. And coming off that last game, we saw some chinks in the armor of the Daniel Jones experience. So that's where I'll go with this one.
The Chiefs are a wounded animal because they keep shooting themselves in the foot. I will say that. Like this, Mahomes just why has he lost the ability to connect on those long balls this year? It's so unlike him. I'll give my thoughts and props here, Corbin. What do you like in this one?
I'm going back to Kelsey again. He cashed for us last week. I still don't quite understand why this total is only 52.5. It, as you guys said, it feels, or it almost is, a must-win game now for the Chiefs. And who's he going to trust in those clutch moments when he's going to need something? It's going to be Kelsey. 6 straight. They're going to force the ball to him if it's not happening. Must win. Colts are bad versus the pass. It kind of ticks all my boxes. This actually might be one of my favorite plays of the week.
Corbin, I was going to bring up alt lines on doing a Tyler Warren, Travis Kelsey parlay, like maybe
Love it.
both, like both have 40 plus yards.
Love it.
So yeah, I was
Yeah,
looking at
absolutely.
Kelsey and Tyler Warren, Warren 51 and a half. I don't know what to do with Alec Pierce. He's been absolutely fantastic this year. Daniel Jones relies on him. And it's kind of one of those, when he goes over, he really goes over. Dare I say, potential ladder play here. 55 and a half. I mean, this is a guy that's gone 84, 115, and 98 in 3 out of his last 4 games. He catches these like 20-yard passes on, 3rd and 8. He's been really, really good. Staying healthy, really good hands. Drop rate is basically non-existent. So the Chiefs are a tough one to figure out. Like, I don't know what to do with Kareem Hunt. We got Buckner's not going to be playing for the Colts. He's a big run stuffer, and that's a big, big loss. It's one of those big losses that nobody really talks about, and then all of a sudden there's Kareem Hunt running for 70 yards.
That's when they'll bring it up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would like to take Kareem Hunt over, but numbers don't lie. He hasn't been that good, but he did go over against Denver. But I think all those lines are dialed in. I like the tight ends, and I like Alec Pierce. So, all right, we move on to the Bengals and the Patriots. I swear the Patriots have been the luckiest team with the schedule all year, culminating with they get the Bengals, and oh, by the way, Jamar Chase is suspended, like randomly for 1 game, and of course the Patriots are the ones playing him. It's laughable. So I don't know if the Bengals, at the time of recording this, yeah, the books are putting out numbers on both Flacco and Burrow. It makes this game really hard. Corbin, do you have anything in this one?
I have something that I want, but it's not out there yet. I want Noah Fan props again. He went over again last. Oh, it's got a number on here. 20. Ooh. If it's 25 and a half.
Oh, that you take that number. That's a great number.
That is up there with one of my favorite plays again. You mentioned it. No Chase. He's been getting loads of targets. 5 receptions last game. Rinse and repeat. Especially against the Patriots pass defense. I've been saying it for a few weeks now. I really don't think it's that great. So.
All right. Jim, you like any of these?
Drake May's going to carve up this secondary of Cincinnati. It's just Drake May for 2 touchdowns is 192. I don't know where you do what you do with that. You have to parlay it with something, or you go to his yards. Like, is Henderson going to get this really crazy workload on the ground? Now, I know Cincinnati's given up a ton of yards rushing as well, but to me, it's just a prime Drake May spot here. I mean, there's going to be guys running so open in the secondary. He's going to have to try to miss Hunter Henry over the middle. He really is going to have to try. So give me Drake May. We have to wait to see who the starting quarterback is for Cincinnati. That changes everything.
Yeah, my quarterback's on bye this week. I'm on one of my fantasy teams, so I went and picked up Flacco and Burrow, thinking, and then Jamar Chase is out. And Jamar Chase is out. I was like, great, of course, thank you guys, being all sneaky. All right, move on to the Steelers and the Bears. Corbin, what do you like in this one?
We've mentioned it. I think it's really hard to, I still haven't seen any confirmed Rodgers news if he's playing or not. So to me, that wipes out Steelers props instantly. The only thing I can somewhat look at is the rushing props for the Bears. I still find it really hard to pick what to do between Swift and Monangai. To me, it doesn't make sense how Monangai's kind of fallen off since he had that good game or so without Swift. The thing I settled on was doing an alt parlay, so you're getting the best of both worlds. So Monangai 20 plus, you can kind of see it. He's gone over that 20 plus in every game, even the recent ones. You can see 23, 28, 24 kind of range, and put that with Swift 40 plus rushing, and they've each gone over this the last 5 that they've played. So that's what I settled on because I don't feel like I can play Monangai at 34.5 as much as I like him and the matchup, just because it still seems like Swift has just gone back to having the majority of the share. So that's why I did the parlay of both to try and get something. So,
Jim?
I'll preface this by saying I hate both of these teams from a perspective. However, there's one thing that's sticking out to me. Jaylen Warren, rushing and receiving. If this Rodgers injury is legit, and he's affected by it, right? He's really got DK, and that's it. Is he going to be able to force the ball downfield?
No.
If not, I think we see some run with Jaylen Warren in the passing game. So we put these numbers together. I mean, his rushing number's not horrible either, but you go rushing and receiving, I can most certainly see him going over this. The other reason why I like this is I am just so sold on Caleb Williams. I believe he's going to make some mistakes in this game that are going to give the Steelers short field and extra possession. So if I can get an extra possession with a guy who I know is the bell cow back in the running and passing game, I like this over 80 rushing and receiving.
Yeah, if Rodgers plays, I think Freiermuth is another one you've got to come back to. He already checked down to those tight ends. He's going to be even quicker to check down to them now. But again, I had no lines when I was looking. So,
I don't. Where'd they come up with this 3.5 receptions on Luther Burden? I give me the under. He has 4. That was against the Commanders, who are really bad. I know this Pittsburgh Steelers pass defense on the year numbers have not been good. They've been just a little bit better the last couple weeks. I don't know. Luther Burden seems like one of these guys where everyone loves him and then they give him 3 catches and it's like, well, if he's that good, if he's that awesome, you guys love him that much, why aren't you giving him, why aren't you getting him the ball 6-7 times? So that's the only one I really like in that one. All right, Jim.
I really thought Corbin was going to be all over how Rodgers owns the Bears.
Oh, I have actually wrote. I have in my notes. I will preface. I've wrote Rodgers can do anything he wants. Rodgers owns the Bears. And then I wrote check downs in brackets.
There you go.
So,
yeah, you got to stay. You got to be careful with Steele. It's his non-throwing hand, but But
it was enough to put him out of the game last week. So if his non-throwing hand was that unimportant, then he would have carried on. So.
All right, Jim, your Jets.
Oh god!
I'm
buckle up, everyone.
I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to be negative.
I just, as lucky as the Patriots are, the Jets now get to go at Baltimore to a team surging, trying to make the playoffs.
So this is tough for me. I know how I want to attack this game, but it's a question of what do you do. So I'm hoping you guys can clarify this a little bit for me here. First of all, Lamar goes under his passing touchdowns last week. You go right back to it. You take him over 1.5 touchdowns. If he's going to throw touchdowns, I'll say it before and I'll say it again. We cannot cover a tight end to save our lives. However, Baltimore has to be one of those teams that has 2 tight ends. So which one do we go with? Do we go with both? I think the numbers are low. I actually really prefer the Isaiah Likely 24.5. He just has more of a big play opportunity than Mark Andrews does. And Andrews with age, one little tweak, one little injury, Likely sees all the snaps. Also think you could sprinkle these guys for touchdowns when the red zone is where we really fail against tight ends.
I think Andrew's touchdown might be better because he's been running it. They've had some nice plays with him running in.
Yeah, they're getting him involved. So he's going to have some design plays. That Likely play as well is great. I was trying to figure out what to do with the Jets receivers. So in their debut, we have all these new names. We have Addy Mitchell, who couldn't catch the ball, however, was open. So we have to take that into it. He was open. So if we fix the drops, maybe it's week 1 jitters. Is he the one that Tyrod Taylor is going to be pressing to throw? Either that or you got to look at Mechie. I think it's one of the 2 guys. This defense still is going to leave some holes. And if they're leading and they blow the doors off this team, we're going to have some garbage time stats that are going to be prime for these wide receivers. Absolutely prime. I mean, right now we're sitting at Mitchell at 40 at plus 124. Mechie at 25 at plus 100. I'll take Mechie on that. I mean, 25 yards at plus money. Garbage time. Down by 30. Trot him out there and go. That's how I see this game going.
I can tell you what to do with the Jets wide receivers, Jim. Cut them. Corbin.
Yeah, I echo that.
We'll be one of those teams with 5 running backs. You just put 5 running backs out there.
Well, speaking of running backs, I like I feel like Andy was going to mention this. Keaton Mitchell over 21.5 rushing. I think Andy touched on it last week. I remember him doing the graph of him being back healthy. 3 or 4 doesn't need that many carries to get there against this Jets team who are just awful against the run as well. We mentioned it. I think Baltimore are going to be very far ahead at many points in this game. So I really like that play as well. Do you want to say anything else on this before I jump to my next one, Andy?
No, I love Keaton Mitchell.
Okay.
He's great. I mean, Derrick Henry has been looking pretty good, but it takes Derrick Henry. It's taking Derrick Henry a long time to get up to speed. When they give him the ball, it's just taking, which is why he's so bad at 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s. Like he has to be the worst running back in the league at those short yardage, and I think it's because everybody's compact and he just can't get that momentum going. Once he gets up to speed, look out. But it's just taking him longer to get up to speed.
Yeah.
And yeah, Keaton Mitchell looks the best right now.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go back to it. Lamar Jackson, no interception. The Jets have 0. They have 0 on the year. A fat 0. Lamar had 2 interceptions last week, and I think that's a perfect spot. I don't think he's going to be throwing the ball a ton. It said minus 400 there. I've checked it around. It's minus 200.
It's minus 196. DraftKings
perfect.
over here.
Take that and parlay it with something. I love it. So they're my 2 plays in this game.
I'm taking Lamar under his rushing yards. He's not that healthy. We saw him have 10 at Cleveland. Talk about a game where don't get your quarterback hurt. Like, hand the ball off to Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell. Lamar's got what? Hamstring, knee, and ankle. It sounds like me these days. So I would just take Lamar under his rushing yards. I don't know why they would be doing that. But Corbin, I'm with you. Keaton Mitchell, this is one of my favorite plays this week. I think this will be a client play. Moving on to the Giants and the Lions. I know where I'm going with this one. Jim, where are you going with this one?
I'm going right back to it. Right back to Mr. Winston over his passing. It's just do we have Dart officially?
No.
Out, right?
They're putting out props on both. They're just putting out props on both.
Thanks for that.
That isn't
a guy who's out, we have props for. Beautiful. But I can't get sack props on a Friday night. Awesome. Thanks, guys. It's Jameis Winston over his passing. He just went under. First week. There was a real conscious effort to run the ball from this replacement coaching staff. And I think we kind of knew how that's going to play out. Like, it was like, let's try it. Let's run the ball. Let's protect our quarterback. All this, and I have a feeling this is just going to pivot 180 degrees the other way, where it's just, Jameis, go for it. Whatever you're going to do, throw. Just throw it. So I love the 224. We can look at passing touchdowns. On the Detroit side, very worried with no Laporta. This team has to make adjustments as far as that goes. But I still think they have plenty of horses in the stable to just run through the Giants in this. That Giants rushing defense is a sieve. The question always is with Detroit is who do you play and how do you play them? Because it should be by committee. Am I wrong, or are they scaling back Montgomery's touches late? Or is this the time where they start giving him the carries late?
I think it's just game script dependent. I mean, like, they have his rush attempts at 12.5, and you're kind of spotty, 6, 15, 11, 13. So I don't know what they're doing with Montgomery.
That's all I got.
All right, Corbin, what do you like?
If you could go to the receiving props and to Jameson Williams, please. I am torn, but I like both of them. Over 61.5 receiving and over 26.5 longest reception. They kind of go hand in hand. He kind of needs that longest reception to get to this number. So I'd probably take the longest just to be sure. We mentioned it. The Giants' defense is awful against the pass and against the run. Lions at home, they love Jameson Williams. I think he gets at least one big catch. I think it all just kind of sets up for him particularly well in this matchup against the Giants, I think. So that's the only prop I like in this game.
When they come out, you still have to go. Go ahead, Andy.
No, go ahead.
When the props come out, as far as tackles go, Bobby Okereke, if we believe that the Lions are going to be up and pound the ball, I believe third in the league in tackles. So we have to see what that number is going to be. But if it's Detroit up big and pounding the rock, look at Okereke's tackles.
I think this is a Monroe St. Brown's get-right game. 77.5, coming off of a brutal game where Jared Goff was throwing the ball all over the place. Against Washington, he didn't really need to do much, and that was the Jameson Williams. We're going to get him the ball. Two pretty lackluster games, and, I mean, he doesn't go 3 games in a row with, bad stats. So, Amon-Ra St. Brown over. And, Corbin, I'm with you. Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra over. You got Jared Goff back indoors now against this Giants team. That's terrible. All right. My favorite prop of the year, the one that I just laughed and laughed and laughed. I'm surprised you guys didn't bring it up.
It's in this game? Wow.
It's in this game. What makes me laugh is the books. Some of the books don't have half an interception for Jameis. They have 1.5. I've never seen the books put out. Nope. We know you're going to throw 1, but you have to bet on him to throw 2. So shout out to BetMGM. DraftKings over an interception is minus 190. But yes, the book saying we're not going to give you over 1 interception. The book saying, nope, you have to play Jameis 2 interceptions. And by the way, I'm not taking the under on 1.5 interceptions. So
I'm betting that right now, just so you know. I did not realize that
the 1.5
on draft. Yes, I will take I'll take the over a half.
Oh, you want to see if you can find the half out there?
Oh, yeah. You're going to put that out there. I'm going to take it.
That's great. All right, we move on to the Seahawks and the Titans. Believe it or not, there's actually a prop in this game I love for the Titans, but Corbin, I'm interested if you have one you like.
I have 2 that I like, one for each team. Charbonnet over 39.5 rushing is the first one that I want to look at. Again, like I mentioned for the Bears, can do some kind of combinations with Charbonnet 20 plus and Walker 40 plus if you prefer. You look and he went under last week and you're like, do you come back to it? He was like 11 carries for 37 against the Rams, who are a far better rush defense than the Titans. If he has 11 rush attempts again, I think he flies over 39.5. So I really like that. And then my second one is Tajay Spears over 17.5 receiving yards. I'm expecting the Titans to be down. And when they're down, they're throwing the ball to Spears. He's gone over his last 5 games that he's played. I've bet this prop every game. I think I've seen it this year for him. And I'm just going to continue to go with it. So
I'm going to jump in here because Corbin, mine was the 2.5 receptions on Spears.
Same thing.
So, yeah, kind of similar there. And by the way, guys, hit the like button for breaking analysis. Corbin thinks that the Titans' rush defense is not quite as good as the Rams. So make sure you like and subscribe. No, I'm just kidding.
That's some top tier analysis, guys. Like, you're not going to find anywhere else someone is going to say that.
Yeah, that was the one the Tajay Spears. I think that's client play worthy. So, Jim, do you like anything in this game?
Tennessee Titans rush defense is ranked 26 in the NFL, giving up an average of 134.7 yards.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
You guys are downplaying how bad it is, all right? Absolutely love Charbonnet over this 37. This is my favorite play in this game. I also think this is one you ladder. I really do. This could be a Charbonnet just marathon if Kenneth Walker is officially going to be ruled out. Even if he's banged up, why are you going to put the extra load on him? And this Tennessee Titans team is bad. They're just bad. Cam Ward's probably going to toss one up to the other team. He got away with not getting one last week. I think we go right back to him to throw an interception. And you could look at the defense as well for Seattle to get some sacks against the rookie quarterback. He's still giving up those sacks, just holding the ball way too long.
We're recording this on Friday, guys, so I'm just looking at the injury report here, and Walker, it's not good that Walker was a late add to the injury report late in the week. That's bad. Glute.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, glute. So he pulled his ass muscle, which is not good. And you're right, Jim.
Doing?
Why would you? Honestly, Carl, have you never pulled a glute? It hurts.
I don't know how he's going to play.
Dude, the stabbing pain that goes through it's unlike any other muscle that you've pulled. Like, it is like being stabbed in the hip. There is no reason why you would play him a lot of snaps against the Titans. And Jim, don't you threaten me with a good time with laddering up Zach Charbonnet. So
60,
yeah,
like 60, 65.
the ladder play we talked about last week,
Smash it.
Michael Wilson's at 52 and a half, and I think he ended with 185. So I think that's a really, really good look there.
Plus
Speaking
285 on Charbonnet for 60.
Oh, yeah, I think we got to look hard at that one. So, Sunday NFL props are on the board. Got the week started off right with a nice win on Woody Marks over his rushing. It was a little bit of a square play, but it got there in the end. So, NFL props have been good. This includes all plays on Sunday, including primetime games, which we are now 20-11. It's the streak that really has confused me the most in 2025, why primetime NFL games are good to us, but they've just been great. So props have been real good. November's been very good. We're seeing sports really, really well. So jump on board our Sunday props. If you're watching this before, we're going to have NBA. We're going to have NHL props. And if you're watching this on Friday, don't forget 10 a.m. start on Saturday for UFC. We have two best bets. We are officially 7-0 in our last 7 bets, so a nice 7-0 run. God, I'd love to get that thing to 9-0 going into the holidays. But seriously, partner up with us on props. Props is where you build your bankroll, especially in NFL. So, all right, move on to the Jags and the Cardinals. Would you guys allow me to go first, please?
Please do.
I'm just going to go to receiving yards, and I would like to take my guy, Michael Wilson, to go over. I can't believe this wasn't a more aggressive adjustment from the books. The game with Harrison out, and Harrison is out again, going up against a Jags defense that is much, much better against the run than they are against the pass. So, yeah, I don't know what we need to see. Like, if they're competitive, he's going to get a lot of targets. If they're getting blown out, he's going to get even more targets. And they cannot run this is a Cardinals team that cannot run the ball. So Michael Wilson, absolutely. I mean, his total was, what was it, 46 and a half or so? I don't know why this isn't 70 or 80. Like, what's changed? They're playing another bad defense that against the pass. He's their number one. It's him and McBride. Yeah, it's Michael Wilson. Let's do it again, Michael. You're my boy. Corbin?
You nailed it. And ladder it. 100
Again?
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it.
Anything else, or is that all you like?
No, that's what I literally have wrote word for word what you just said.
Okay.
So,
Jim?
I'm going to throw another stat at you from last week without Harrison. Greg Dortch, 6 receptions for 66 yards.
Okay.
I think you look at both of these wide receivers. The numbers are just criminally low. You could go receptions. The 6 is an outlier, but it's without Harrison in the game. So if you are their opponents, who are you taking out of the game? You're taking out McBride. Now, it didn't go so well last week. Then again, the game was never really close, 41-22. So you don't really care if Trey McBride's catching those 12-yard outs. Like, who cares? At home with Jacksonville. Jacksonville on the road always worries me. Like you said, hard to run on. Get that passing going. I think you look at both these quarterbacks. You can get receivers. You can get Greg Dortch at 25 minus 120 right now. So if they decide to take Wilson out of the game, I still think you play that Wilson play, but you also play Dortch up to some number that you feel comfortable with, because one of these two guys is going to fly over their total. Absolutely fly over their total. You get both home. Low numbers.
I'm just going to throw in there, if we like these guys, then Jacoby Brissett's passing yards is way too low, 242 and a half. Like, there's 243s. I mean, why would you not look at the over here? All he's done is go over every single time. The man set an NFL record. In 20 years, how's that for a trivia question? Who has the single game record for most completions? You're going to be like, oh, Brady, maybe in overtime, get Peyton Manning. No, Jacoby Brissett. Nobody likes fantasy football stories, but I'm going to tell one here. I have one of the worst fantasy football teams that has ever been put together. It's embarrassing. I played a team that hasn't lost a game. They have Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey on their team, okay? I played him last week. Jonathan Taylor was on bye, and I started Trey McBride and Jacoby Brissett against him and handed him his first loss to Jacoby Brissett.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like this guy's gonna waltz into the Super Bowl and win it, and here I am sitting on 2 wins. We don't talk spreads on this show. Can someone explain to me why the Raiders are 4-point favorites over any team? I don't care who's starting at quarterback for the Brett Corbin. Do you know the Raiders? This Raiders team is 4-point favorites over somebody. What are we doing here? Coming to you. What do we do? Props. Look at this passing yards number on Sanders.
I think it's too low.
I'm with you.
It is.
I'm with you.
So I have 3 props in this game, and they're all passing related. The first one was Sanders over 185. Again, there's no chance of him being pulled because they've got no one else. They are being forced to play him. So I've got the whole game with him, so I don't have to worry about that. Is he going to be inaccurate? Yes. Is he going to throw an interception? Probably, which was my next favorite play because he already threw one. He had 4 completions on 16 attempts. But again, he hasn't practiced with any of these players at all. Like, they are putting way too much stock into last week where they've thrown him off the bench where he thought he didn't have a cat in hell's chance of playing. And now he's had a full week to plan. He knows all the routes. The players are more familiar. I think this number is criminally low. Likewise with the interception. Again, because I think they're going to have to throw the ball. I think he's just going to throw one just by being a rookie and just natural course. And then my third prop is Geno Smith to throw an interception. All bar 2 games, he's done it. Browns are the best passing defense. 8th most interceptions on the year. Just play all 3, and I think you go 2-1 at best, at worst even. So that's
Jim?
what I got.
Jim?
I agree. Geno to throw a pick was one that I had. I think it's comical that Sanders to throw a pick is longer of a price than Geno because
What's
Geno's.
the interception parlay? I'm gonna.
Oh, there you go.
Yes,
Put them both together.
It has to be.
Whilst-
Yes.
Whilst you
Yes,
talk, I'm
go
going to
for it.
work out what they are both to throw a pick.
That number is too low for Sanders, and I'll look at Harold Fan because he's pretty much their only option. I don't think that Sanders is going to be able to get the ball to Judy consistently. Also, in that game last week, there was 2 drops by Fan on those drives for Sanders. So he was able to put the ball on Fannin and get him the ball. It just happened to equate to drops. So this number at 29.5 is just way too low if we think Sanders is going to go over 158. And again, the ugliest prop of the week, that hit. Our boy, Tyler Lockett.
It keeps
It
hitting,
hit.
Jim.
Who's going to be winning this game? We agree that the Raiders have no business being favored. Cleveland, stellar defense. Geno throws a pick, could be a pick 6. I think the Raiders are going to be down. So if that's the case, he's going to have to rely on somebody. You don't think the Browns, one of the best, they're going to take away Bowers? Of course they are. So who else is catching the ball? I think you go to the guy who he's comfortable with. 19.5 is lower than it was last week for some reason. That makes no sense. This is a criminally low number.
It does make sense.
They were playing Dallas. Now they're playing Cleveland.
33 last week with the amount of targets he had just makes no sense to me. They're not taking into account garbage time and Geno just trying to get rid of the ball before he gets killed. He's looking for Lockett in those situations. One last one. Max Crosby.
Don't worry, Jim. Go.
Max Crosby is going to get to Shedeur Sanders. Everybody thinks that Shedeur is this mobile quarterback who can run. And to be honest with you, he's not that fast. He's really not. And he's going to think he can get out of jams that he can't get out of in the NFL. We see this with all rookie quarterbacks. Max Crosby should have a field day against Shedeur Sanders in this game.
Corbin, what's the parlay?
Plus 220 for them both to
For both of these guys to
for both to throw 1 interception.
All right, I'm in.
Mm-hmm. I'm placing a lot of bets on this show today. I just
Jim's just sat there with his phone under the table, like place bet, place bet, place bet.
Michael Mayer over 2.5 receptions. We talked about it last week. The guy just keeps catching 3 passes exactly. It would almost be funny if you could find a prop 3 exactly, not 2, not 4, just 3 exactly. He's the one where guys are covered. Oh, a little dump off. Oh, there's a little planned, throw to the outside. I want to go back to this passing yards here. Guys, this has been one of my favorite like trends, and I'm glad that you guys are finally getting on board. Is when you take the ugly, nobody wants to bet on this guy to go over, so the books put it at a laughable number. Like this is so up my alley to take Shador over 158 and a half. Like you said, for a full week of practice. It's the Raiders. I'm going to go down here to the so they're 31st they're 31st in interceptions, 22nd pass completions, 22nd longest pass, 22nd receptions, 22nd longest reception, 19th in defending passing touchdowns, like yards after catch, 19th, like passing yards, 17th, pass attempt, 17th. You threw him in against yes. Baltimore. They threw him in against Baltimore, who Baltimore is in this push for a playoff spot. They're playing the Raiders. The Raiders had their team kneel down, and then they kneeled down at the end, just giving up, not even trying with a couple minutes last week. So, all right, we move on to the Eagles and the Cowboys. Great game. What a great game here. Jim, coming to you first. What do you make of this game?
Oh, Dallas is running into a buzzsaw here in this game. This Philly defense has woken up. This Philly team seems to have woken up. We're starting to see A.J. Brown sightings. I think Dak's in trouble here. We also have Dak, a late addition to the injury report, and we've seen that when Dak is banged up, he doesn't have the same mental decision-making. I'm not knocking the guy, but this pass rush for Philadelphia is going to be able to get to him and make his life a nightmare. I would be looking at Dak interceptions. I think he's going to toss one up, possibly two to this team. I expect them to be down. The big hubbub about I was dying on the broadcast. We're like, Quincy Williams, or Quinny Williams. There's one. There's two. That's changed this defense. I'm not buying it with this Dallas defense one bit. You can't tell me Raiders, that Wilson Jim. And Williams changed the culture of this defense. They're still a sieve, and they're going to prove it. Is this a Saquon Barkley game? Is this where Saquon gets right in a dome
We've said that like
on
4
turf?
times already on the show this year.
It's got to come at some point.
Again,
right?
we've said that every time as well.
But this every time wasn't against the Dallas defense. We're waiting for it. It's just like, when are we going to see it here? When are we going to see it? Now, respectable number. It's not his total, but maybe Saquon anytime touchdown. Maybe that's the way you go with it. I think he'll have ample opportunity to break a big one against this defense.
Can I do my impression of the announcers last week with Quinn and Williams? And Gino takes a snap. He's holding the ball. He's holding the ball. He's still holding the ball. He's holding the ball. He's still holding the ball. And he gets sacked by Quinn and Williams and Collinsworth. Oh, my. Quinn and Williams has just rejuvenated this defensive line. I mean, look at the pressure he got on Gino there. Like, Gino didn't have a chance. It was so hilarious, them fawning over him sacking Geno Smith, who's sitting there holding the ball for a mile. All right, Corbin, coming to you. What do you like?
I have one prop, and it's Jalen Hurts not to throw an interception. Again, tad juicy, but parlay it with something. This is one I've got away from the last couple of weeks. I'm not entirely sure why, and I heavily regret it. Just get back on the train. Didn't throw one in the head-to-head earlier this year. Only time he did was against that Giants in that weird game right at the end. It was a really weird interception. Cowboys only have 5 interceptions on the year. Again, Eagles probably going to be up, probably going to be trying to be running the ball. Who knows how many times Jalen's actually going to throw it. So that's what I'm looking at.
The reason we got away from it, Corbin, was the juice. We got nervous about the juice, and then listen, minus 190.
I don't care what the juice is.
I know. It's like, you don't want to tell people play something at minus 190, and then you look at it and you go, I mean, look at this. Who cares if it's minus 290? I was looking at, Jim, you mentioned it, Dak. Where is his rushing props? I don't. Late injury report. He's not rushing. He went over his rush attempts because of kneel downs, like strictly because of kneel downs, and we even talked about that last week. Rushing yards under 11.5. He's not taking off, not against this defense.
What's his injury? You guys said you read.
It's a shoulder, I believe.
Okay.
He's one of those guys though where like when he's injured, it's just throw it away, don't take any unnecessary hits, run out of bounds, like just playing it safe, which I think is the right thing to do. I always think when I know it's tough when guys play through injury, but you're the quarterback, like they kind of need you, so don't take any unnecessary chances. So
Hip, actually, excuse me, hip.
Oh,
Worse.
even more so for the.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought it was lower body. I thought it was lower body. I mean, shoulder could have popped up. All right, guys, buckle up. We have Kirk Cousins against the Saints, and the Saints are favored. I have no. This falls under Jim and I when we did the UFC video, Corbin. We used the phrase NFO, no freaking opinion. I have no freaking opinion on this game because this one, I have no idea what to make of this one. Corbin, do you have anything?
I have one player that I want to tell you. It's a player that you have mentioned a few times on the show. Mooney unders. Where have they pulled these numbers from?
Because Drake London's out.
You can tell me Drake London's out. They have inflated his numbers too much. I love his under 4.5 receptions. I don't see how he gets to that number personally. And we knock on the Saints, but they're actually the 8th best team versus the pass, stats wise. Now, are they actually, because of how many passes they faced and all of that stuff? I don't actually have them 8th, but I don't have them as the horrendous, like bottom 5 kind of avenue. I just like, where does he get 4.5 receptions? Where does he get 45.5 yards? I think you can take either or and be quite happy, I think.
I'm Darnell Mooney's been he's just been a disaster. I feel bad for him. He's just been hurt the entire year. Just can't get healthy. And now Drake London's out and he has his chance to shine. And now Kirk Cousins is throwing him the ball.
Exactly. And they boosted all his numbers that much. I don't see it.
Jim?
I want to say Bijan Robinson, but I'm so sick of losing money on the guy this season. I just can't do it. It should be a Bijan day.
Never trust the Falcons.
Should be.
Never trust the Falcons.
You can't trust the damn Falcons. You can't. And like you said, the Saints are playing better than what we thought they were going to be this year. We all had the Saints predicted as the worst team in the league. I don't think. And was there any other team we thought was going to be worse than the Saints preseason?
We talked about the Browns, but we talked about their defense not being very good. We had the Raiders kind of pegged, but
Giants.
Yeah, the Saints were pretty bad.
Yeah, but they've outkicked their coverage on this one. I think that they've done actually respectable. Ugly game. Just pass on this game. Just let it be.
Just for the record, they're 2-8. So
yeah, they're not exactly flying.
But I know, Jim. I know what you mean.
They're
playing hard.
Of those losses.
Yeah, they're playing hard. That like there's something there. The cap hell that they're in. I'm with you. I don't sneakily. I almost want to take Bijan under his rushing yards, just because Kirk Cousins isn't scaring anybody, and they're like, okay, no Drake London. We're gonna let you hand the ball off to Bijan 40 times and let him run for 200 yards. No way. Stack the box. I think Bijan under is really sneaky, but I'm not betting it. So, all right, we move on. Last game. While we're breaking down Bucs and the Rams. What a great game this is. Guys, please hit the like button. Leave us a comment below. It really helps the algorithm out. Tell us what your best bet is. Tell if you agree, disagree. Tell me how much money you made off of Michael Wilson last week. And there's only one answer. Not enough. That's the only answer to how much money you made off of Michael Wilson is not enough. So, all right, we're gonna do Buccaneers at the Rams. What a great primetime game. Been waiting all day for Sunday night. Corbin, what do you think of Buccaneers and Rams?
I think it's going to be an absolute pass fest on both sides of the ball. I love Stafford over this week. I like him to have 2+ passing touchdowns as a parlay piece. I think his normal line's 2.5. Again, I would consider sprinkling that just because I think it's going to be. I quite like the Bucs rush defense, particularly when they have Vita Vea. We mentioned it before. I think him to throw 2 passing touchdowns is a great parlay piece. He struggled against the Hawks last week, and he still had 2, and he went and over 267.5 passing yards as well, and it feels like the perfect spot for Stafford to have a big game. Other than Stafford, I quite like K. Dotton again. Went under last week. Just got to come back to it. As painful losses are, I'm trying to come back to them even when they lose. 36.5, 37.5, 5 of the last 6. Again, I'm expecting them to be down. I think Baker's going to be throwing the ball, and I think Otton's a good option.
Jim?
This Rams defense does not get talked about enough in this league. They are young, they are fast, they are opportunistic, and they are aggressive. So you've heard me for weeks talk about Baker 2 touchdowns, Baker 2 touchdowns, Baker 2 touchdowns. I'm actually not on it this week. I'm going to flip. I'm going to go Baker to throw an interception in.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to flip on Baker this week. Coming off a game where he did throw one. I know he hasn't thrown a lot, but there's something about the Bucs offense that just, I think the losses of everybody that they've had to deal with is finally catching up to this team. And it's way less of an explosive offense. It's more of a dink and dunk down the field, try to convert third and short offense. So they've lost their big playability. And this Rams defense is freaking legit, man. Their pass rush is fantastic. The linebackers play great. The secondary plays well. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Kyron Williams anytime touchdown. Again, I know the passing touchdowns are there for Stafford, but 155? Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I don't care how you get him in. Punt return, kick return, don't care. Wildcat quarterback, the guy just gets in the end zone. We think that the Rams are going to score points. We believe they are. I get Corbin saying about the rushing defense, but it's Kyron at the goal line and in the red zone. Just what they do.
Yeah, I was looking at Baker kind of under his pass completions. Like look at the teams that he goes over against. New England, what we talk about, New England, really great rush defense, not great pass. Detroit, at Detroit, shootout. At Seattle was kind of an anomaly, but at Houston, when does he go under? When at Buffalo when they run the ball a lot, at New Orleans when they run the ball a lot. So this is a Rams defense that's really good. I'm wondering about Baker on his pass completions, and then on the receiving yards, it's 2025, and I'm betting overs on Sterling Shepard, but I can't ignore 54 yards in his last game against Buffalo. Like you said, Jim, cupboard's kind of bare here from the for Tampa. It's a great defense. So what do great defenses do? They try and take away the big players, and I think Sterling Shepard could find some holes in the defense. Listen. Numbers don't lie here. He's only gone under in 3 of these games. So some of these guys that we were betting on. I mean, if you told me at the beginning of the year, you're going to be betting overs on Jacoby Brissett and Sterling Shepard, no question. Tyjae Spears over, absolutely. So
Tyler Lockett.
They just keep Tyler Lockett overs, absolutely. It's pretty.
But it's where the books aren't paying attention to. These lines are just wrong. That's what those bets are. They're wrong lines. It's beautiful.
Oh, come on. Are they really putting out lines on Chris Godwin?
Stop it.
Under. If you can find an under on Chris Godwin, I'll happily take it. I feel bad for that guy. So, all right, that is going to do it for the prop line. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, Sunday NFL pack is up. Got a great start to the NFL week with a nice winner on Thursday. Let's keep it going on Sunday. Again, 10 a.m. start for UFC. We got 2 best bets that are up. NBA, NHL props are up as well. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Like, subscribe. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see you over next week. Take care.
Good luck.